Welcome back, everybody. If you've been watching Let's Give It a Try for any length of time, you know that I've used this griddle right here, the 28-inch adventure-rated griddle, probably more than any other griddle on the road. I've literally cooked on this thing from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to the northern border close to Canada. But if we take a closer look at the griddle top, oh my, you could see that we're probably due to reseason this thing. So totally normal. Once you've cooked on your griddle top for an unspecified amount of time, maybe 100 cooks, 130 cooks, 150 cooks, 75 cooks, I don't know, but a ton of times your seasoning will get uneven. And that is because you don't cook your food on the same exact spots every time. So naturally you're gonna have layers of oil and seasoning that are a little bit uneven. So over time, whether it's 8 months or 2 years, depending on how much you cook, you're eventually gonna get an uneven season. You're gonna have to strip it down and re-season it. I've stripped down my griddle tops a bunch of ways over the years. Last night I picked up some Blackstone products off the shelf. Let's get to it.
Let's give it a try.
I picked up a few products just to show you some options that you have. Of course, Blackstone's 8-piece professional griddle cleaning kit. You have the scraper, which we use all the time. You have the cleaning brick tool with 2 cleaning bricks, a scouring tool with scour pads, a 3-in-1 cleaning tool that has everything I just mentioned, all in one tool. This is probably the one that I'm going to use the most, and that's going to be everything that we need in there. Look, you even got instructions on how to use things. And you have a voucher for some Naked Wines. So we're gonna get one of our cleaning bricks here. There we go, just kind of shove it down inside like that. Probably the 2 items you wanna have is a pair of gloves, so you can keep your hands clean. And maybe an old shirt. This is an old shirt that I work out in, so an old shirt that you don't mind if you get dirty or not. So we're just gonna start scrubbing. Then from time to time, when you get a lot of buildup on there, I'll throw some water on the griddle top, along with some Dawn, some dish washing liquid, and you'll see that'll really help to pull all that nasty grease, sludge, and whatnot up to the top. You can actually see where I've pulled the seasoning off. So we'll repeat this process another 2 or 3 times until we get this stripped down nicely. This is definitely easier with a 28-inch griddle. Maybe one thing that could help you out a little bit is to just pull your griddle plate off and set it down, in this case on the grass. Of course, see, then you're not gonna have to worry about it. Not gonna have to worry about stabilizing my griddle. And maybe that'll allow you to apply a little more pressure. I see a lot of people buying these brand new griddle cleaning kits, and they're posting questions on how to use this cleaning brick in daily cleaning. This is not for daily cleaning, folks. The griddle brick is for when you want to do aggressive cleaning like this, or pretty much strip your griddle down. So this is not for daily griddle cleaning. If you need to, you might need to pull your, hey there, say hi to the camera. She's playing with a harmonica. If you need to, you might need to pull one of your cleaning bricks out of your scrubber and maybe wash it off, or switch over to a new one. Okay, I haven't been timing here, but I've done around 5 of those moderate rounds of scrubbing. Maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops, you know, if I factored in all the actual scrubbing. So we'll go ahead and clean it off and clean it off again here. Take one last look at it. I think it's gonna be fine now. So get all that yucky soap and gunk off there. That thing is really clean. And folks, I think that's exactly what we want. If you look at that, okay, that's stripped down really nicely. Maybe one last section right here. Let me go ahead and attack that real quick. So it's probably been somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes of aggressive scrubbing. This is where I was able to get the griddle top down to using just my hands and the griddle brick. Now, I've used electric sanders before where I literally got the entire thing shiny, but I can look at this and see that I have it completely smooth and all the crazy built up, unevenly built up sections of griddle top are done. So we'll go ahead and put this over on our griddle frame. I'm definitely a big advocate for Blackstone's brand new degreaser cleaner. I've used all the cleaners over the years. Dawn dish liquid, right? I mean, Dawn cuts grease, so it works perfectly. But this stuff works like none other when it comes to cleaning off your side shelf and cleaning up your handles and getting all those yucky spots off your Blackstone griddle. So that's what we look like after about 30 minutes invested on this particular griddle top. Put a propane canister on there. Now we're gonna go ahead, fire this baby up. And of course, that's gonna dry this the rest of the way out. And in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, I'm gonna put a light layer of oil on there and we're gonna start the seasoning process. So I've had this griddle heating up for about 7, 8 minutes, getting pretty darn warm. I have pure vegetable oil, so a light coating of oil. And I got kids, a lot of kids in the neighborhood here, so you might hear a scream here and there. And we're gonna rub that oil down into the griddle top, rubbing it into the edges here. And think of oil as a miracle elixir for your griddle top, okay? Because you can come here to the front where it kind of looks yucky, rub a little bit of oil in there. Look at there, come over to the side, rub a little oil in there, come around the back, rub a little oil on there. So we're gonna rub it in there and we're gonna let that smoke off. And you can already, look, folks, this has been maybe 30 seconds. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can already see that starting to turn a yellow brown right there, just after about 30, 45 seconds. Hopefully you can see that gorgeous view of Whitefish Lake. So having a great time here in Whitefish, one of our most favorite places to visit here in the Rocky Mountains. My father-in-law grew up here, and this is just a really special place for my wife and I. We had our honeymoon in this area. The last 15 years, I've got to vacation up here probably like 7 or 8 times. Just a spectacular place for us. So this is the second coating of oil. My first coating completely smoked off. So we're gonna go with light coatings of oil. You might choose to use a Blackstone heat-resistant glove for this. Just know that this is a hot griddle top. It's 400 or 500 degrees easily. So I'm assuming the responsibility here that if I slip, I'm gonna get burned. So you can see how the griddle top is already starting to get more evenly covered. You can see those are weld marks. A lot of people inquire about those when they strip a griddle down and they want to know what those spots are. That's just the weld marks where the under griddle supports are connected to the griddle top. So those will eventually fill in. So there's our second coating of oil. That second layer of oil just smoked off. So now we're going to go with the light third coating of oil. If you want to watch me do an in-depth video on how to season your Blackstone griddle, we'll try to put a link in the description down below here. This is what the griddle looks like after 3 layers of seasoning, 3 layers of oil have burned off. Now this is where I always recommend that you cook a bunch of loose foods. I was probably the first one on YouTube, I think 5 or 6 years ago, that suggested using diced onions on your griddle top. Now everybody's doing it, and one of the questions I see most commonly is, what's the secret with diced onions? Why do you use onions? How many layers of onions? Folks, it has nothing to do with onions. It's just that I originally thought onions were cheap food and easy to dice up and put a lot of food all over the griddle top, right? Something to soak up oil. So the point is, you want to cook some really messy things on your griddle top for the first several cooks. That could be a ton of ground beef, it could be a ton of ground pork, bacon, stir-fried bacon, fried corn. So something real messy that you can use to disperse that oil and get the crevices and everything all seasoned. So we're going to start out with a whole bunch of bacon here. So just got a bunch of bacon down on the griddle top. We're gonna get that nice and greasy, gonna get all the bacon out to all the corners. And now is when I'll add a whole bunch more messy, dicey, loose foods. In this case, we're doing a no recipe, home fry kind of a dealio. So I got a potato, got some onions, a bunch of jalapenos. But the point is, you need to cook on your griddle top a few times before it is completely non-stick. I would never cook pancakes, French toast, or crepes. I couldn't think of what it was. Pancakes, French toast, or crepes. Probably the 3 most delicate things that we cook on the Blackstone. I wouldn't cook those for my first cooks. Always something messy and greasy. And then after we've cooked a few meals like this, whether it's a greasy burger, a hash brown, or stir fry, then you can go ahead and cook all that other stuff. Alright, so our little home fry batch looks perfect, by the way. No, this isn't a recipe video, but by the way, those are some delicious looking home fries with bacon here. Then I'll grab my griddle scraper. My favorite kind to use is one of these that have a little sharpened edge. We're not going to dig in here, but we're just going to get that gunk off the top of the griddle top, right? I'll grab some paper towels here, direct all that grease over there towards my grease cup, and you can see we're well on our way to getting a perfectly seasoned griddle top. You'll still see a few spots here and there, right? 1 or 2 more recipes will take care of that. Folks, if you want to watch any of our videos on griddle care, just look us up, blackstoneproducts.com, right here on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Blackstone Griddles. We just went over 100,000 subscribers right here on our YouTube channel. So shout out to our entire social media team. Watch my videos on seasoning. Nate's got videos on seasoning, etc., etc. But until next time, everybody, I appreciate you watching. This is Todd. I'm saying praise the Lord and pass the food.